The Goose gear plate system, if you're not familiar, is a platform kit for the back of the Jeep. It provides an even surface and also adds some storage compartments to the negative space inside the interior of the vehicle. It should reduce the number of bins and stuff that I need to carry around, making my living space a lot more efficient. Where I left off with the Goose gear plate system is with the varnish. I gave the top surfaces a nice 3-coat, so it feels really good. It looks good for the most part. And then I flipped them over and did the back side. Now when I did that, some of the varnish dripped through and ran to the front, just kind of making the front look a little bit rough around the edges. The Goose gear plate system usually comes with a Line-X coating, but I specifically requested bare wood so I could just have this nice, natural aesthetic inside my Jeep. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is sand these top layers, anywhere that the varnish got out of hand. That way it's nice and smooth, all of the excess varnish is off, and then I only have a little bit more varnish left, so I'm going to add just a light coating over that which I've sanded. Okay, that felt counterproductive, but I think that the finish will be a lot better now. I just have to give it another coat with what varnish I have left, using a damp towel to get rid of this excess dust. Alright, that was a good umpteenth pass. Okay, while waiting for the varnish to dry, I think I'm going to run to the hardware store and see what I can find to improve these latches. The latches themselves are perfectly fine. It's the fact that my Goose gear plate system doesn't have the Line-X coating, so some of the tolerances are off. I want to find a rubber foot for the latching bolt, and also maybe some aluminum backing plates. I put these green boots on the latch bolts to just kind of give it some padding. I don't know if it'll help, but I'm going to try to apply some heat to this green rubber boot just to make sure it contours to the bolt head a little bit better. So, green boot, and the latch is installed in the plate. Has a lip right here, and the hatch can go installed in any direction. Oops, sorry that was loud. And I can adjust the length of this to kind of tweak that fit a little bit. So this morning I'm going to take it to a car wash and vacuum the carpet out. I don't want to install the plate system over any dirt if I can help it. There's going to be some dirt, it's not going to be perfect, but I at least want it to be good. Okay, today is my window to get this done, so let's see what I have to do. So first I need to tear things apart. This panel needs to come off. The subwoofer needs to come out, so I'm not going to be able to jam quite as much. That's okay. This panel, this seat belt, since I'm removing that seat section, and then that seat section needs to come out. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think this would be easier. Okay. Seatbelt was extraordinarily difficult to remove. I didn't think my Craftsman ratchet was up to it, but I put a pipe on the end of it for leverage and got the job done. I have a rusty metal pipe that says fire extinguisher on it, or it used to. That did it. Okay, okay. There we go. It's out of the way. Oh, this is a ton of fun. Oh. This is the rear seat delete bracket, and all this bracket really does is gives a mounting point for this seat, the 40% rear seat, and it reduces the bracketry, because there's bracketry here normally from the factory for both seats. So this just basically minimizes it. Awesome. This piece is going to have to come off because this is the panel that I'm going to install the electric sockets in. But I still need to install it fully to figure out exactly where they're going to go. I have some of the Ursa Minor carpet is in the way. Might have to cut some of that off. Actually, I might just give it a slice right here, because that's where a tab sticks out, one of the brackets. This little bracket goes onto the side of the tub, and that's basically what supports the shelf and pulls it against the side. Okay. that's about it for today. It's Thursday morning, and I'm on the home stretch with installing the Goose gear plate system. It's coming together nicely. I love the way it looks, and it's going to add tons of functionality, so I'm super stoked to get this done. I need to finish bolting down the rear plate. I need to dismantle the fender cubbies and install the electrical outlets. And then I need to install the 60% seat delete platform. So I have my work cut out for me today, but I did most of the hard stuff yesterday. I think I'm on track, so I'm gonna get after it. The rear plate bolts down in 4 points very easily. Here, 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 and it utilizes the same bolt holes that the footman loops use from the factory, so no drilling. However, my varnish went on too thick, so my holes are clogged up. I might have to drill the varnish out, but I'm just poking around with a screwdriver to see if I can avoid that. I think the screwdriver might work. That's it, the rear plate is installed. I believe these other remaining holes are for tie downs if you want them, or additional Goose gear accessories. Now I have to position the electrical outlets. I got these nice power outlets on Amazon.com. They're marine, 12 volt on one side, USB on the other, and I got two. One assembly for each fender. So basically, I'm going to install them right here vertically. That way they're protected by this little protrusion, and they're nice and out of the way, and the seat won't interfere with them when I push it forward and backward. I think it's a perfect spot for them. In the Jeep I eyeballed the holes, but here on the bench I'm going to just make sure that the outlets are parallel with the vertical edge of the plate. Well, there it is. I screwed on the bezels. And I filed down these screws on the back side. They were sticking out a good bit. All that's left is to throw together a wiring harness, and then I can go back into the Jeep and get this done. Good to go. Now I just have to go back out and reassemble the Jeep. Okay, I have to reinstall this plate. It's going to be tricky because I have to feed this this slide nut into the aluminum extrusion, and it just slides out the bottom because gravity is not in my favor. But I have this pen magnet that fits into the extrusion perfectly. So I think I can position this slide nut with the pen magnet. Haha, got it. All right. Alright, I'm going to do the other side, and then I'm going to start buttoning everything up. And I cut far more wire than I needed, but that's okay. I'd rather have too much than too little. Before I put the 60 section in, I have to better conceal these wires. It's around 7 p.m. on Thursday evening. I'm on the home stretch, I think. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would to get the wiring in and the 60% section, which is a really snug fit. I had to drill 3 holes in this bracket to put it into the floor. But this is ready, and I'm going to get cracking, wrap this up. This surface right here actually has to flex in order to get it to fit past the edge of the main platform, but it's a very minuscule amount. And here we have the mostly finished project. I say mostly finished because I ran the wires, but I didn't put them into the fuse block yet, so the power outlets don't work. Goose gear plate system with the 60 seat delete. In bare wood. Well, bare wood meaning not Linexed. Got the varnish on. Numerous layers. Yesterday I wrapped up the wiring job so the power outlets now work. And today is move-in day. So you can't see it, but I have all this stuff laid out on the garage floor, and I'm going to filter it in and try to find the best place for everything. I have a lot of figuring out to do. Recovery gear. I've been packing the Jeep for about an hour now, just test fitting, trying to figure out where everything goes. Fridge is going to go here. I have a mounting plate for it that I have to install to the platform. I like the position for those Rotopaxes there. That's where my ladder used to be. The ladder, since the subwoofer is gone, now fits on that side. And as a reminder, I need the ladder to load and unload my kayak. This is nice. Now that the subwoofer's gone, I have room for a little bit more here. And I can put my shower shelter. I can put the awning room, which is nice. That took up a lot of my living space. The platform system is going to really open up my living space. Oh man, it's starting to snow inside the Jeep. Nice, Chris. I think instead of my shelf system, I'm going to put my clothes in the 2 compartments right here. That way, I regain visibility out of this side window. I'm totally drilling holes in my shiny new thing. The utility is why I got it, and I'm going to live in this, so if I need to drill holes, I need to drill holes. I'm living in the Jeep with a new Goose gear system installed, and I think my biggest gains are living space. I'm sitting on the 60 section right now. My clothes are stored in the compartment underneath, and I don't have shelves obscuring this window anymore. I can get to the Tembo Tuscadal really easily. It's stored right here. I just roll it out. I have access to my power outlets. I can set things on this little shelf, like this lantern. I'm in the Jeep in Thomas, West Virginia. And the Goose gear platform makes a great surface upon which to set up the toilet and the stove in order to make some soup.